before we start, check this out. What's with this pigeon?
What the hell are you doing, man? What? I could grab his tail.
So I usually have a hawk that comes and gives me warnings and messages when crap's on the way, or good stuff, I guess. Just this pigeon sitting here right in front of my door, not afraid of me or anything. These silly things happen to me a lot. I like sharing them with you. Listen, we have an amazing video, a very revealing video. I was making it for the members, but I think I want everyone to see this. NASA LRO, picture on the left, Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter that has Eratosthenes crater, while you look at that UFO go by on my crater on my side. So it's the same crater. We're on the same side as I think it is. So, yeah. Same crater, okay? Now, we can have different shadows, of course, because they are always different. People know that since hundreds of years ago that they've been analyzed, and the shadows always change places depending on supposedly the sun. Look at the objects that I'm showing. Look at the elevation, the massive lines of monstrous objects coming in from the Apennine Mountains from the top there, and the crater, the similarities of them, but they're not identical, that's for sure. So, you see the size of that? 59 kilometers, 3.6 depth, and with my telescope, and look at the large objects running over top of the crater. That's what is fascinating me the most. You can see it well enough, can't you? All the objects. So, anytime you want to do a comparison with craters that I'm getting or capturing, go look at a NASA photo. So Apollo 17, Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter was able to get a picture as close as it showed there. And it just so happens that from Earth I was able to get a lot closer, by the way. Do I see as many details? No, but I see a lot more structures. That's for sure. Objects, anomalies in my own footage. Imagine. And mine was a live footage. It wasn't an image. And you could see them there with the simple filtering. There it is, Eratosthenes right there. And you're going to see a couple of shots of the surface. Another UFO spiraling around behind Plato Crater that I showed. I'll put a filter up. I'm going to look at the light around the crater. A real short one there too. Betelgeuse, big-ass crater beside the moon. Big-ass planet beside the moon. It was a planet-sized object that I got once in my life in 2017. Never again have I seen an object that large. It's larger than a planet-sized object that I showed you beside the sun. The purple one. Wait till you see it. There's the UFO. The black spot that you're seeing is smoke or dust that is billowing at the end of a line that goes behind Plato Crater that I've showed you. My friend, there's a couple of my friends that enjoy it when I post them, and I like posting especially that one. Betelgeuse that I captured was not rotating. I put it in a program to make the simple straight image rotate. Nothing complicated. It's a photography technique. Same here. And this is the giant unknown blue object beside the moon in 2017. Confirmed. I saw it with the naked eye for 3 days traveling across. You could check it out. I posted the asteroid. Depending on the size, the distance that this was, I started even seeing it go outwards and getting smaller and smaller. Many objects were in the atmosphere in our solar system in 2017, and if you want to look it up, the data and information is still all there. So these objects they don't talk about, right? And for me to have gotten this bloody object that big, there's nothing in my research in the 5th year starting now have I ever gotten anything that close and that large, except for, of course, our moon. So how big was that compared to our moon? Probably about 5%. It was large, very large. You're going to see me process an image for you. I'm going to show you how I got to this image. 3 simple steps. There's no sharpening, there's no tampering, there's a simple double inversion, and we're going to see how I did it. This is at the end of the Promontorium. Everything, my friends, that you see in black right now were all bright. So I inverted it. So now look at the shapes inside of the mountain of Sinus Iridum at the end, which looks like large cutout slabs of objects right inside of the mountain. And this is not a fake image. And again, I'm going to show you how the processing is done exactly. We're going to view that together. But we're going to look a lot and concentrate on Sinus Iridum today in this video, an incredible video. So imagine all these superimposed layers of objects with connections inside of the mountain, surrounded by smokes and hazes, and tell me that this, as a theory, could not be a camouflage and a living civilization. Maybe it was an ancient civilization. But what would our buildings look like here after 100 years? I bet you New York would be infested with trees and vegetation all the way to the highest building. So we're going to take the time to view this with the simple two-step process. Well, three. Depends. Sometimes I do two things. Sometimes I do three things when I process an image. But it's always the same thing I do. There's one step. You went from a regular real image to a second processing, which is just an application of an inversion. And now this, the green filter. And now after the green filter, we're going to invert this image, and everything that's bright is going to become dark, and everything, the opposite. So there, look what it does. Things that our eyes cannot see. The connections are there and everything. All the process is there, but I'm going to show you better than that. We're going to go from point A, to point C. The three-step processing, three-step processing that I do all the time. Simple and straight up with all my images. If you look back 4 or 5 years ago in the videos, you'll see that green inversion. There's no difference. It's a negative shot, right? And prepare to be amazed. By the way, you're gonna have to sit down for this one, because I'm telling you. You say, well, how can you get to that? You're seeing it. I'm showing you even steps here, but we're gonna get even more in detail with that. It's the angle of the way we view these buildings. The eye does not pick up the city because they do not see it properly. Get it? When you see the city properly, you'll know it, because you turn the image around, and then at one point you're going to fall just onto that perfect area. Yep, the edge of the moon there, an egg-shaped object up on the top there, and over to the right. Well, you see, these objects are elevated because we're along the Terminator line. And the more you get to the bottom of this video, well, the less elevated these craters actually are, and you can see that really easily. So now we're, the Jura Mountains. We're at the back of Sinus Iridum, in the Applebite. And those objects are there, and they can be seen in most any picture. There's, another process here. Again, another inversion. Watch, we're going to get all the dark background like inverted. There we go. So that we can see the differences on the surface. And again, I'm looking at the mountains up towards the background. So we're going to see something pretty incredible. Are you ready? Watch how fast I will show you there are structures on the moon, and how I do it in 3 simple steps. That was my 50th video explaining each process that I've ever done before. Did you know there were aliens on the moon and they were mining and they were shining and they were looking at us? Aliens on the moon and they're mining. Really up there and they're mining on the moon. Aliens on the moon. Aliens on the moon. It's inspired. Really up there and they're mining on the moon. Aliens on the moon. Aliens on the moon. They may be coming soon.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.